TRU Talk Radio. Let's get it in, baby. We're going to run this a little different. We're going to talk some boxing tonight. I found out today, Blog Talk Radio, which ran a lot of True Boxing Heads content. Mary Lopez, how are you? A lot of the content that was posted on Blog Talk Radio no longer exists because the website Blog Talk Radio no longer is available. So that is out of there. ¿Qué onda, mi compa Shrek? ¿Cómo andamos? So we're going to do this a little bit different. Yeah. Maybe less. We're going to talk boxing. If y'all want to talk boxing with us, y'all tap in. We're going to be talking puro boxeo a la noche aquí. Saludos a todos. Listos para una noche de boxeo esta fin de semana. This weekend will be a boxing, action-packed weekend. True fam, true boxing head. Shout out to everybody. We're going to be talking boxing. You can. Let me talk to my boy real quick. You can, bro. Just hide it. I'll have a couple with you, homie. Just hide the can. There you go. I see you right there. I just sent you a message, homie. You can just hide the name, el nombre. Escóndelo. Let me know when you're ready, bro, and we'll dive right into it, homie. I got my little notes. We're gonna be talking boxing. True Boxing Heads. I will be posting this video right now or later on YouTube. Mary Quintero. So all you that are watching, that are gonna be watching this on YouTube, if you hear names, those are people that are jumping in the chat. Later, we'll be doing it live on YouTube. I got two phones. I was going to try to do both, but the camera thing is not working. So just so y'all know, if you won't like boxing, tune in for tonight's show. We're going to be talking all boxing. My boy, he's funny, so we'll be shooting the shit, you know. We're going to be posting this on True Boxing Heads YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't followed me, please follow me. Saludos a todos. Tina, thank you very much. But yeah, we got Cinco de Mayo weekend. So you know what that means, guys? That means boxing. You know, it's religion for us Mexicanos. You know, we love some boxing. So we're going to get it in. We're going to talk boxing. Shout out to the homie Lando. And we locked in, baby. We locked and loaded. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive into it, you know. Tomorrow from Times Square. For the first time ever, they're shutting down Times Square. If you've never been in New York, this is where they do the drop in the ball. This is where they do the New Year's. They're actually removing everything. They're setting up a ring right there in the middle of Times Square. Romero Salas, thank you for the follow. And they're having a huge card. One of my favorite cards years to date. You know, it's an awesome card. It's headlined by Ryan Garcia, who moved up to 147 pounds. His first fight since the Devin Haney fight. He's gonna be fighting Rolly Romero. Funny guy. That's going to be the main event. But to me, the other two fights are main event quality as well. You got Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez, a former two-time champion, a former unified champion. He once held the WBO and WBC title. He won the WBA title here in Texas. That's a good fight. You know, Devin Haney's first fight as well, you know, coming off the, you know, knockout by Garcia that was later washed out. And then the fight that I think is going to steal the show, and if you haven't been paying attention to it, please do so. You got Arnold Barboza from El Monte, California, taking on Teofimo Lopez. It's a bad blood fight. These boys are going to be fighting. It's elite level. You know, all three fights are elite level. But I think that fight might steal the night. You know, it's going to steal the night. And I think it's going to be a good card. All fighters made weight today. You had Ryan Garcia. He weighed in at 146.8. Again, he's moving up from 140 pounds. Rolly Romero, he came in at 147 on the dot. Arnold Barboza, he's actually fighting at 140. And Teofimo Lopez, they both came in at 139.6 and 139.8 respectfully. Devin Haney, they're fighting at 147. Him and Jose Ramirez both weighed in at 143 pounds. Just so y'all know, that weigh-in that y'all seen, the pictures, the videos of, that was just for show. They had already weighed in. Lately, I've been catching on that a lot of these fights, they're doing that. They weigh in early because, you know, you got to keep in mind, they're fighting in New York, so they're an hour ahead. By the time they put the cameras and TVs and everything like that, those guys are ready to eat. You know, these are grown-ass men trying to make weight. You know, it's very important. So, you know, by then they're already hydrating, they're eating, and all that stuff was for show, you know. And you know, we're just keeping it real. Saludos a todos once again. This is my comeback, or what do we call it? The return. We're gonna be talking boxing more, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do. We've been saying we're gonna do it, and we're just gonna start off right here with the TikTok, and we'll be posting this video on True Boxing Heads YouTube. So again, if you're watching this live on TikTok, salute. I appreciate you. If you're gonna be watching this on YouTube, I appreciate you as well. And follow me on vice versa. So True Boxing Heads on YouTube, and Not Your One True right here. It's the original. My boy Boxing Guru will be joining me to be my co-host. Yes, sir. Big fight, bro. That's what I'm talking about, bro. They're stating history. Shout out to the homie Big Mac Tattoos out there, Rosarito, Baja California, representing for the RGBA. I think it's only appropriate. And then while I wait for my homeboy to come on, I want to tell y'all why I started doing this boxing again. I've been doing boxing for years. Like I told a lot of people, I took behind the scenes. I kind of started hiding out a little bit because I was pushing the sport first, you know, pushing boxing. One thing I'm very thankful for with TikTok, it let me know that I'm worthy. You know, I'm a badass. I don't care what nobody says, you know. I will doubt myself, but now I'm out to put myself back out there. I'm back in the game, and this is just my return, like I said, you know, and we're going to keep it 100. And again, this will started everything, you know, so I appreciate that shit. I appreciate the love, you know. My bad, you threw me. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for real. Let me see if my boy's ready to go. I'm going to tell him, come on in. If he's in here, let me see if he's in here. I appreciate you, homie. Let me see if he's in here. He's not in here, so let me message him real quick. But yeah, we're going to talk boxing. And we're going to keep it 100. But yeah, like my boy was saying too, there's big card tomorrow. Historic, being put on by the Saudis. You know, big money, you know. And again, never has it been done where they're literally shutting down Times Square and there's going to be boxing right there in the middle. I wish I would have been able to attend the fight. But unfortunately, this time out, I won't be. For those who are interested in watching the fight, you can get a bundle with the Zone. So tomorrow's fight is pay-per-view. That and the Canelo fight. If you download the Zone, you get a free 7-day, but you still got to pay for the fight. You can get both fights, both nights for $90, y'all. True Boxing Heads recommended. So, again, this whole weekend is going to be talking boxing. You got the Canelo fight that we're going to be talking about as well on Saturday. They're going to be fighting in Saudi Arabia, but they're going to be adjusting the schedule so we can watch it out in real time here in the United States. You know, it's our fight. You know, Mexico, they get to watch it for free. And then there's fights on Sunday as well. Remember, Cinco de Mayo weekend is a huge boxing weekend, and it's going to be going down all weekend. And I think it's perfect. I think it's the right time, and that's why I'm doing this again right here, you know, just to get back in the game, get my feet wet. And like I was saying earlier about being a badass, that's just me talking shit. The truth is, the reality is, I just got to put myself back out there and do what I love to do. And what I love to do is talk boxing. And I'm bred for this. You know, I've been doing this for years, you know. I just took a step back because my life was just taking a different route. And, again, I got to be thankful to TikTok because it kind of just, you know, reconfirmed to me that, yo, you got this, homie. Don't even trip. The truth is, I like to kick it. I like to party. You know, I love to meet people. And speaking of meeting people, I met Stacey through boxing. May she rest in peace. And I've been thinking about her a lot. So we're going to run it back, you know, in her honor. So we're going to talk boxing. I'm working on the studio. Let's go. Let me tell my boy, sorry. And so I'm going to turn my back room into a studio, and I might just do it here. I was actually trying to book up a studio. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one. But let's get it, you know. We got a lot of fights coming up. Aside from this boxing weekend, you got Bivol versus Beterbiev. They're fighting for a third time. They've already fought twice. They're 1-1. Unfortunately, the winner is not going to fight David Benavidez like many of us expected. They're going to fight for a third time, and now Benavidez is looking for a new dance partner. And as of right now, you got Anthony Yarde, the former WBO champion, and then you got Caleb Smith, the guy that Canelo fought a while back. He's now fighting at light heavyweight, so we'll see. You got Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. That's going down July 19th out in Wembley out there in the UK. There's talks about Anthony Joshua possibly returning against Tyson Fury. The UK promoters want that to happen. That would be still a mega fight. You know, both guys coming off losses, but both guys are huge, you know, big names out there in the UK. And I would love to see the fight. You know, may the best man win. I know Tyson Fury, you know, he has a lot of demons, you know, but he's come on. He made it to the top. You know, they both made it to the top. I think Anthony Joshua was kind of bred for it as far as, like, tailor-made. You know, he was pushed by Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. Respect to them. You know, they did a great thing. But he was always chinny. I think he was exposed against Andy Ruiz and everybody else. You know, you seen what happened to him. And that's what it was, you know. Hey, I appreciate you. And like I said, we're going to be going live here and YouTube. But speaking of the UK, we want to talk about the UK. The UK was a big fight this past weekend. You had Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Conor Benn. Big grudge match out there in the UK. Phenomenal setup. Amazing crowd. I do got to give it up to all the UK fans. Those guys over there are real. They're real boxing fans. They are true boxing heads. They filled up the stadium. The ring entrances were amazing. I love how Chris Eubank took it all in, him and his dad. That shit was amazing. You got to remember, they're sons of fighters, and their dads had fought. Back in the day, Eubank and Ben, they fought. Eubanks won one, and then they drew once. So now, 35 years, 35 years later, because they fought in 1990, and their sons fought in 2025. And I thought that was pretty cool that they were able to throw down, and Chris Eubank ultimately got the unanimous decision, and that's what it was. And I don't think my boy's gonna come in, so I'm just gonna keep going. And it's okay. I'm sure he's busy. But yeah, that was a huge fight. Congratulations to the Eubanks family. Congratulations to Chris Eubanks, who has proven himself to be a legit fighter. His dad didn't think he had what it took to be a fighter. He actually didn't want his son to be a fighter. There's a lot of videos coming out where Senior is telling Junior, "You sure you want to do this? You don't want to do this." And there's a video when he's 13 years old, and the son finally convinces his dad that, "Yeah, Dad, I want to fight." Well, you look back and you look at now, he made it. You know, even though he may not be a world champion, he fought at the highest level in front of 80,000 people, and he fought a hell of a fight. That fight was a hell of a fight, and in the end, he got the win. I know Conor Benn wants the rematch. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but we'll see. That's down the line. That's happening. They haven't determined if they're going to do the rematch, but that would just happen this past Saturday. Speaking of upcoming fights that we don't know about, you got Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. If you remember, Fundora beat Tim Tszyu in a bloodbath. They fought. It was blood everywhere. Well, they're going to be fighting again. They're thinking August. That'll be a hell of a fight. You know, the first fight was a great one, and I'm looking forward to that one. Another fight that's going down July 19th that'll actually be here in my backyard in Frisco at the Star. One of the pound-for-pound fighters, Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He's going to be taking on the South African Phahla Kahu. Phahla Kahu. They're both undefeated. Phahla Kahu is the WBO champion. Bam Rodriguez is the WBC champion. They're both undefeated. They're looking to unify. Winner walks away with 2 belts. Right now, they both each have 1 belt. The winner that night walks away with 2 belts, which will set them up with the opportunity to fight for the undisputed championship. But back to the fights from this weekend. I was waiting for my boy to come in here. He ghosted me, which is cool. But I'm just going to keep it moving for the time being. This weekend is a huge fight of boxing. I look at it with what's the word I'm looking for? Without loyalty to anybody, you know, because none of these fighters pay my bills. But I do got a lot of love for Arnold Barboza. You know, he's come up the hard way. He was working with Top Rank. He got let go, or they mutually split. He got picked up by Golden Boy, and all he wanted was the big fight. He finally got the big fight. He went to the UK. He got the win against Jake Catterall in a fight that could have went either way, but he dug deep and got the win. And now he gets the opportunity to fight his longtime foe, a guy who's been calling out for a long time, in Teofimo Lopez, the Takeover. I got a lot of love for the Takeover, Teofimo Lopez. Phenomenal fighter, a great salesman, a great talker, smart kid. They're both coming in tip-top shape. I think that's going to be the fight of the night. I really do think so. For me, that fight alone is worth the price of admission. Shout out to Team Lopez. They've been reaching out. They're cool. Shout out to his pops. I know his pops gets a lot of hate. but he's a smart man too. You know, I got to give kudos to both of them. You know, they executed their game plan. They both had a plan for his son, and they've already made history. You know, became the IBF champion. Now he's the WBO champion and the Ring Magazine champion. You know, so he's a champion. And he's doing his thing. He was a champion at 135 pounds, and now he's a champion at 140 pounds. And before you know it, I think he'll make the move up to 147 at some point. But for right now, he's sticking around at 140 pounds. And again, that fight is, I think, the first big fight. It's a triple header. But I think that fight might steal the night. That fight might steal the night. And that's the fight I'm looking forward to. As I mentioned earlier, Devin Haney coming up in a big fight. Coming off the loss, you know, he's going to be taking on Jose Ramirez, the homie out there from Fresno, California. He does a lot for the people out in the valley. That's a big fight too. You know, a lot of people think that Devin Haney could lose, and he could possibly lose. But we're going to find out what Devin Haney's made of, and we're going to find out what Jose Ramirez is, what he's made of. You know, he's now signed a Golden Boy. You know, again, he used to be the WBC and WBO champion. And, you know, no championship fight this one, as this fight is at welterweight. They both didn't make 147 pounds. They came in well under. They came in at 143 pounds. But that's a leeway and a win for both of them. Those guys are used to making under 140 pounds, and now they get that extra 3 pounds, 4 pounds, you know. They don't have to, you know, starve themselves. They don't have to kill themselves to make weight. So because of that, I think it should be a good fight. There should be no excuses. Both have had a full camp. And like I said earlier, I think we're going to see what Devin Haney has, you know, what he's made of. You know, a lot of people made fun of him for what happened in the Ryan Garcia fight. Yes, he got dropped. Yes, he got lost. Or he lost. The fight got overturned when Ryan Garcia got popped. Ryan Garcia is trying to say that that his test was tainted, but we'll see. You know, and we'll be seeing. And it goes down tomorrow. So that's the co-main event. They've already said if Devin Haney wins and Ryan Garcia wins, they're both gonna fight each other. The interesting thing would be, are they gonna fight at 140 pounds or 147? I'm pretty sure 147 at this point. I doubt they would go back down, you know, especially after, you know, moving up. Because, I mean, again, Ryan Garcia was right under the 147 pound limit, 146.8, and Devin Haney was at 143 pounds. So I think Devin Haney could probably do it a little bit easier than Ryan Garcia. Speaking of that, a lot of people are giving Ryan Garcia slack, you know, flack. You know, there's a lot of pictures going around right now where, you know, they showed Ryan Garcia before the Devin Haney fight, and that motherfucker is yoked, right? He's like popped and out, right? And there people are saying, you see, that's roid rage. That's not him going to mental issues. He was trying to say it was mental issues. He's saying it ain't mental issues. A lot of people are saying that's roid rage. And you see him in this fight, and he's moving up, but he's not as built as he was for that fight. And that's been over a year. So, you know, the suspension's up. And but props to him. He's going back to New York where he got popped. So we're going to see what he does. And it goes down. So shout out to boxing. Boxing will always reign supreme. TRU fam came from TRU Boxing Heads. So right now I'm just running it, you know, freestyle. I got my little notes. But that's the fight that I'm looking forward to. That starts the weekend of fights tomorrow, Friday, May 2nd, from New York Times Square. The first time ever in history that there'll be fights that there at Times Square. If you don't have the Zone, you can download the Zone. You can stream it. They are offering a package where you can get the fights for Friday and Canelo's fight for $90. That's a hell of a deal, guys. If you don't have it, definitely. Shout out to Rolls On. Shout out to Texas, always. But yeah, it's a triple header. It's a great card. I look forward to it, and it's going down. Obviously, you got the big fight on Saturday. Canelo makes his return to defend his undisputed title against I think he's Cuban, William Scull. He is the IBF champion right now, so you know it's still undisputed. What does undisputed mean? For those that don't know what it means, that means all the big belts, the 4 belts. You know, I'm one of those guys. I don't believe in the IBO. I believe in WBO, World Boxing Organization, WBA, World Boxing Association, World Boxing Council, and the American International Boxing Federation. Those are the 4 big ones. IBO and WBU and all those ain't real ones. Well, anyways, they're fighting for that. Canelo's on the main event, Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's still his weekend, and the Mexican's going to bring down the house, and I'm sure all of us are going to be watching. And like I was saying earlier, They will be catering the time for us to be able to watch it live here in the United States. So that's pretty cool. It's a good little card. On the card as well, you got Jaime Munguia, who got knocked out. He's getting his rematch. He gets his shot at the homie Bruno Surface, the guy who knocked him out. So that's an interesting fight. What's interesting about that fight, it's only 10 rounds. So Jaime Munguia's got no excuses. I hope he made his adjustments. I hope he's going to come back, because if he loses this one, I think he steps back in his career. This is make it or break it, because if you can't beat a guy like Bruno, yeah, you'll get another big name because you're Mexican and you get a lot of big fights and you put on a good show. But if you lose against the homie Bruno twice, it's not a good look. The fight that I think might steal the show is the heavyweights. You got Martin Boko, the big boy. That boy 400 pounds, the dude that knocked out Jared Anderson, the once undefeated prospect from Ohio. He knocked him out. He's going to take him on the African, Aveje Agobe. I think Afe Agobe trains with Canelo. But that fight's going to be a good one. That's part of the pay-per-view. It's a heavyweight matchup. Expect fireworks. You know, one thing about heavyweights, you know, they may not always be the most exciting fighters, but one thing about them is all it takes is one punch, you know, and that's why some of us watch heavyweights. Speaking of heavyweights, rest in peace to the late, great George Foreman, the most powerful puncher. He went on to become famous for the movie, for the George Foreman grill. He passed, and I do want to say rest in peace to George Foreman. Marco Verde from Mazatlan, Sinaloa, the Mexican Olympian fighter. I believe he won the silver medal. He's now training with Team Canelo. He will be making his pro debut on Saturday. That's a name to be watching out for. Mario Verde. Mario Verde. Y'all be tuning in for him. He's a good fighter, someone to keep an eye out for. And on Sunday, you got the big fight coming down too as well. You got the Japanese pound-for-pound fighter, the monster, Inoue. He's going to be taking on Ramon Cardenas. What's up? Hey, Guru, you ready to go or what? He's going to be taking on Ramon Cardenas for his undisputed title. That fight is going down on Sunday on ESPN. And then the co-main event, here he goes right here, fucker. On the co-main event, you got Rafael Espinosa versus the homie Edward Vasquez. My co-host finally coming up. Had left me hanging there for a little while, but it's all up. What's up with it, Mr. Guru? How are you, my boy?
What up, my guy?
Hey, put your camera on so we can see you, Phil.
Wait, I'm trying to... You see, you're talking to an ignorant bastard.
Hey, pero calmado, güey, con las palabras para que no lo... Míralo, feo. What's up, my boy?
Pretty bastard.
Hey, I was over here giving a whole spiel. Y quien sabe qué. Hey, but you just started. Have you been on live or you just got on?
Honestly, you just popped my cherry, bro. I never done this. You know, I used to do this on Instagram and whatnot. So why don't you do me a favor and give me a recap of what I cannot and cannot do? Because I think I asked you about beer. So put it on the side.
Mira, we can talk the way we talk all the time, but no puedes decir la palabra que nosotros decimos todo el tiempo.
La V.
No la digas.
Ajá, la V.
Que the one that ends with a T. You want me to just text you?
No, that's cool. Whatever. I'm not.
You know, just for now, just watch your words and keep it PG-13 for now, and I'll give you the breakdown later.
Eso.
Sounds good. Just right now, for now, hey, right now, Santito, Boxing Guru. Hey, so everybody knows me. Hey, bro, just so you know, this video is going to be going up on YouTube as well, my boy. So just so you know.
Yes, sir.
So, look, hey, man, go ahead and introduce yourself. Give them a little bit about yourself, real my boy, and then we'll dive back into the boxing time.
Cool. Hey, so my name is Sal, Mr. Boxing Guru. I'm a big boxing fan. That's what I am. I sell a lot of boxing shirts. A lot of you folks not a lot of you folks, but a lot of folks know me from, you know, Twitter or now X, Instagram. I used to always do this. It's funny because I used to always go live, but on IG. But yeah, I sell shirts like this one, Mr. Boxing and Chill.
Boxing and Chill.
I put the Canelo hat on today because, you know, we got to represent, even though nobody's talking about, we got to represent Nello. But yeah, man, and of course, knowing you for many, many years, and a big shout out to you, Nacho.
Hey, I appreciate you, homie. Much love and respect. I've hung out with my boy. I partied with my boy at the Forum outside of the Golovkin fight. We tailgate at Carson, the Dignity Health Center. We done party in Long Beach and a lot of places. So much love and respect, my boy.
Yes,
Hey, man,
sir.
I went down my spill, so I'm gonna let you catch up. What I did, I gave my breakdown as far as the Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, Arnold Barboza versus Teofimo Lopez, and then Jose Ramirez versus Devin Haney. If you want to go ahead and give your spill and give your take, my boy.
Yeah, on Friday's fights, this is the first weekend that I feel like we haven't talked about Canelo, in a long time. You know what I mean?
True.
We're always This is Canelo's weekend, regardless. Even if he fights like maybe a week or so after, this is not a Canelo thing. And the thing is, Canelo is still the money guy today, tomorrow. But you got to give it up to these kids, man. There's a 140-pound, 147-pound division. Este, these kids are willing to fight. This is all we've been asking for as boxing fans. We've been asking for the best to fight the best. We've been asking for, the names. And right now, as far as the U.S. goes, it's 140 pounders going into 147 are the prime elite that we have. And the thing is, what's missing a lot in boxing is personas. And these kids have the biggest personalities you can imagine. You got guys like
Teofimo.
Teofimo. Teofimo is the one guy that he's a little off. You never know when he's going to be right.
He's dope. He's a little thrown off, yeah, but he's funny as fuck though.
He's funny, dude. Yes.
Did you see his tweet today?
What did he say?
He said, "I missed weight because of penis enlargement."
You gotta love that, bro, and you can't hate on them. Saludos, Fierro.
Hey man, but you're right, bro. They sold their. The one thing I want to just piggyback. I just want to interject because you brought up a good point. Normally everybody's talking about Canelo. Obviously, his dancing partner has a lot to do with it, but we're still gonna watch Canelo because we Mexicanos, we want to watch boxing. Yeah. But the fact that these guys are all fighting each other. And now that's what we're talking about instead of Canelo. I think we're going to be talking about Canelo as soon as fights are over. But like you said, we've been wanting this for a long time, the best versus the best.
Yeah, and that's so important, Nacho, because, again, and I think as you and I are getting a little older, let me speak for myself. I've always been a fan of certain guy, right? Like, I'm a fan of, we all have our favorite guys. You got your Texas boys. I have, and sometimes it's not even the Texas boys. It's like, example, I was always a big fan of Bam Rios. That was always my guy.
That was your boy.
Guy. So
shout out to Bam Rios.
Whatever he did, he could do no wrong. But that's 20 or 30-year-old me. That's my guy. That's my guy. Now, honestly, as I'm getting older, I don't care. I just want to see good fights, and that's what I like about Friday's fights over anything right now. It's just good fights. Yes, you could almost say who's going to win, but there's some wild cards in there that might surprise a lot of folks. I think, in my opinion, the very first fight of the three main events, which is Ramirez versus Devin Haney. Oh, actually, as a co-main event, I'm sorry, but that fight to me is so intriguing, bro, because you got Devin Haney, which, again, on paper,
undefeated.
He's undefeated. He's a great guy, all-American kid. I know they're playing the villain thing, but he's an all-American kid. He's like your poster boy child for anything. He doesn't curse. You never see him. Very religious dude. Respect to that. It's his dad, the one that makes you not like the kid. But again, put that aside. He's the all-American kid. And then but at the same time, here's a guy that's been touched up by Jojo Diaz, that is a natural 126-pounder. Linares touched him up. Ryan just treated him like a rag doll. So, and again, he's a prime elite athlete that has no chin and has no power. The thing is, a guy like Jose, that's there to.
Hey, real quick. Let me interject, bro. Just because I don't want the Haney fans to say I got love for him. I think he's a little chinny. I think he's got some power. Hey, and to answer, he is undefeated on paper. But go ahead and continue.
He's undefeated on paper. Look, we got to show love to Haney. It is what it is, whether you like him or not. It is what it is. My thing is, when you got a guy like Ramirez that he's lost maybe twice. That was to Barboza and to the
To Barboza and Josh Taylor.
Groundskeeper Willie. Yeah, Josh
Taylor, he lost. Yeah, he lost to Josh
yeah.
Taylor.
Great guys to lose to. He's an Olympian. He might be shot, but the thing is, all his career has been
You
at
think he's
140
shot? That's
pounds.
what I was talking about earlier, bro. This
He's
is
a little
shot
shot
for him.
He's a little shot.
You're right. You're right. We know, Joker. You're right. We know he's not undefeated.
He's it was a joke, bro. We get it. Boom. It's just no, but the thing is, no, but the thing is, you know, he's a little shot, but I think at the same time, so is
this is his big fight, bro.
Yeah, so this is his big fight at 147, where he really hydrated himself.
Hey,
I've been talking
real quick, bro. Since you bring that up, I brought it up earlier. It's interesting that even though it's at 147 pounds, they're only fighting at 143 pounds. I mean, they both weighed in at 143.
Well, the thing is, they're new to the game. You got to think about
shut up.
Haney. Oh, Ace is here?
What up, Ace?
Ace with the dookie. What was I saying?
143 pounds. They both weighed in at 143 pounds.
Haney is a 135 guy. What's his name? Ramirez, 140 pound guy. Career 140 since the Olympics, 140. So you have to take that into account. Who's going to be the fresher guy? Haney looked big, but again, those you know what I'm saying? Genetics, you know, they let's be honest, you know, they build different. They build different than us. We're always gonna have a little panza, you know? So that fight to me is the most intriguing fight of the bunch.
For me, it's Lopez versus Barboza, bro.
Okay.
Bad blood. They've been wanting it. That's the one I want to watch.
A lot of talk. Yes, on paper, perfect. But once Barboza gets going, how could I say without sounding? He's not the most entertaining guy in the world, bro. He's
a good boxer though.
He's a boxer puncher, but he doesn't have the power to punch through people. And we all know that something in the El Monte water, bro. Because El Monte, JoJo's from El Monte too. He couldn't punch through paper either. So that's my thing. He's a good boxer, all around talented guy, but whenever what's his name? Hondureño. Again, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Teofimo.
Whenever Teofimo shows up, the dude's
he's elite.
Monster. He's a monster. But we've seen him not show up. You know, we've seen him a few times, and that's been versus pure boxers. Can Barboza kind of stink up the joint and be a pure boxer? I think he could be effective. If not, no, who knows?
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna get Joker asked the question, Rolly or Ryan, and I gave him my old school true boxing heads answer: boxing, because like I said earlier, none of these boxers pay our bills, and like he said, we just want to see the best versus the best. We just want to see good fights. But I'll let you answer that question and dive into Romero versus Garcia. Hey, shout out to Ryan. That shit was funny.
Hey, Ryan's a funny kid when he gets humbled. Yeah, Ryan. I know Ryan when before he Golden Boy, and he was a good kid. But money changes, folks. So, but enough of that. That fight, good. I thought the presser was going to be better. I don't know what Ryan has on Rolly that Rolly wasn't allowed to be his real self. But it was kind of a downer. Honestly, I think Ryan has, if that ostrich, whatever the hell Ryan had, was a dud and it wasn't in, because I've noticed something a little different from Ryan. I'll bring it up right now. If Ryan
he's off the juice, my boy.
His voice, bro.
I've seen that. They brought it up as an example how they sound different.
Last year, he sounded like Nacho. Today, he sounds like me, bro.
Yeah, bro. He sounds a little bit more like,
Yeah, but his voice went softer, and last year he talked like you. Something's wrong
but that's what I was talking about earlier, bro. Do you think it was?
I don't know. I don't want to judge it. Maybe he was just screaming too long. Remember, he was going loco.
He was. Well, we thought he was going loco, but apparently he wasn't going loco.
I don't know. I think he was. I think he had seen some stuff that he shouldn't have seen.
Oh, I mean, that's what he was saying, bro. He was saying all kind of.
That's where I kind of believe him, bro.
He was saying all kind of
But
crazy
as
stuff.
far as that fight goes, I think Ryan versus Rolly ends under 6 rounds, bro. It's only a matter of time. If Ryan is right, where he catches Rolly. Rolly, we've seen him not be able to catch as much as people think. 147 pounds is a hell of a difference, bro. Rolly's
Hey,
another
bro.
guy.
I'm glad you brought that up, bro. I mean, that's another. All right, since you brought it up, I talked about it a little bit. Let's
Uh,
talk about the elephant in the room. You know, I was talking about the pictures that they were posting from last
uh,
year at 140 pounds. Now he's fighting at 147. He's a little bit smaller, and now his voice sounding a little bit weaker. You know,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
leaves that door open, my boy.
He fought Tank at what,
35,
132?
something like that. He was like
132. So
catch
remember
weight,
they
no?
weight drained him.
Yeah,
Remember they weight drained him at 132, I believe. Then he fought
we
at
talking boxing
140.
today, guys.
Yeah. Then
Go
he
ahead,
fought
Ryan.
at 140 pounds. Ryan did.
Yeah.
And then he came and fought Devin Haney, I believe. He came in like at 143, I believe. But he didn't make weight. And now he's fighting at 147. So this kid's always been a big kid. He just needed to fill up, and it looks like he's filling up. Rolly's a small kid too, a natural 135 pounder. I I don't think he has enough to keep Ryan off him. I think honestly, what's the coach's name? He's from Texas too.
The Rolly.
Yeah, no, the Ryan, el Morenito.
Oh, shout out to Coach Derek James.
Coach,
Shout out to
great,
DJ, baby.
great coach. Dude, he in my opinion, he's way better than Reynoso. I don't care what anybody says. He just
A la verga.
he is a coach's coach, bro. He's a legit coach.
Arre.
And hey, Texas bred too. So there you go.
There we go. Hey, bro, go. Hey, now that you feel it, hey, because all right. So for those who are just now tapping in, this is my boy Boxing Guru. We're talking boxing. He's getting his feet wet again for the first time in a long time. Me and him have done podcasts all the time, and this is just our return to the boxing game. We're gonna talk some boxing all the time, and we had a switch from the Instagram streets, the Twitter streets, to the new streets on the block, TikTok, baby, the new kid on the block.
I'm the old man in the block, bro.
Inga su puta madre. But yeah, we're talking boxing, and this video will be going up on YouTube. Make sure to follow me on True Boxing Heads. Go check me out on YouTube. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been doing this for years. I don't know my boy Guru shit for like 15, 20 years now, it seems like. For a long ass time.
It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute.
Hey, he getting old on me. You know, you hear what he's saying over there, losing his mind. No se acuerda, se está olvidando y todo ese rollo. All right, hey, but to recap those 3 fights, I look forward to the card. Again, you can download the app, The Zone. You can get both fights Friday and Saturday for $90. I'm looking forward to all 3. The fight I want to see the most is Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza. I'm going to give you my pick. I'm picking Ryan Garcia in the main event. And the other 2 fights, I'm going to say pick them. I'm going to let you recap those, and then we're going to move on to the Canelo fight, my boy.
All right, so the Teofimo Lopez versus Barboza fight. Again, that fight, in my opinion, might be the stinker. I have Barboza in a chess match. I think Barboza has been woofing, but he's gonna get on his bicycle. He's gonna move around and he's gonna box. And the reason why he's gonna box, because like I mentioned earlier, that's what Teofimo is used to looking bad against, the boxer, the pure boxer. That guy that beat Ryan Garcia, and I forgot what other guy that just jumped on his bike and wouldn't let him do anything. So that's a stinker. So I got Barboza, and the opener. I'm going with the wild card, bro. I'm going with my Michoacano.
A la verga, my boy's going with Ramirez.
Ramirez with the upset, bro. The Ramirez. I know it's a long shot, and it's gonna be easy to say. If he loses, it's gonna be easy to say, you don't know nothing about boxing. I have a hunch about this kid, man, and like I said, I something tells me he's gonna pull it off. And Ryan, I have Ryan in the main event under 6 rounds.
Hey, that's man, my boy. Hey, that's pretty deep right there, bro. Yeah. I say pick him. You know what I mean? May the best man win. You know, boxing. You know, y'all asked me earlier who I want to win. Hey, may boxing win. That's why I want to win. Yes, hey, but that's a good one. Hey, bro, I did talk a little bit about it while I was waiting for you. I talked about the card. I'm gonna give my take. Canelo versus William Scull. Scull defends his IBF title. Canelo looking to unify or become undisputed once again. For those that don't know, William Scull is ranked in the top 10. You know, he's not a scrub. He's a real fighter. You may not know who he is. Not the most intriguing, not the best dance partner, but definitely a good fight for Canelo. You know, he's going to make his money, gets the win, gets to fight another day, get another payday. You got Jaime Munguia looking to get his revenge against Bruno Suras. Again, like I said earlier, if he doesn't get his revenge, Jaime Munguia, B team. Here you go, my boy. And I ain't talking about Bloods, right? I'm talking about B side, C side type shit. The homie from Mazatlan making his pro debut, Mario Verde. He's now training with Eddie Reynosa. And then you got the heavyweight matchup. You know, what's his name? Marian Bakole, the one that knocked out Jared Anderson, taking on Angebe. Go ahead, my boy. Give your Canelo take, and then we're going to move on because we still got to talk about Inoue, the monster. Y ábrete una, güey.
Ahorita me abro una.
He's like, I'm fresh right now. Go ahead, my boy.
You know what? What a great career Canelo has had, right?
Making money.
Somebody asked me today on Instagram, you know, who's the top guy from Mexico? Has it been is it Canelo or Chavez Sr.? And you know, as I felt almost insulted, like even having to answer that, like, you know what? But I'm like, then you start thinking about it. First I got pissed because they didn't mention the OG Salvador Sanchez, which is, you know, to me that's
boxing legend,
el Dios, bro. That's the guy that's the one that got away, bro. But Canelo has had such a great. I almost feel like I'm insulting calling him a manufacturer. He's a very, very good fighter, but he's been put in such a position because of the tickets he sells and the alliances he's made early in his career, that he got put in a position where he got a belt, and it was very. I don't want to say it was easy for him to get that belt.
Hey, as a redheaded Mexican.
A redheaded Mexican, it's como le dicen, what he made an interview, he said que le dicen la jícama con chile. So that was great. But he put himself in a position where he lined himself up. He came to the U.S. at a very young age, became a Golden Boy superstar. He fought fighters. Like, when you put it on paper, you're telling me, this guy fought Valdomir, the same Valdomir that beat the snot out of Zab Judah. He beat Sugar Shane Mosley, the guy that beat Oscar De La Hoya. That's who he beat.
Twice.
He fought Floyd Mayweather and lived to talk about it at the tender age of what, like 20-something, 21.
Miguel Cotto.
Yeah, he fought Miguel Cotto. So he fought all this great. But when you like, let's say, write a list of his accolades, unfortunately some people are not gonna think about, okay, when was
and my boy over sounding like Juan Manuel Marquez a la verga.
Hey, and he almost fought Juan Manuel Marquez too. No, but my thing is, all the fighters that he fought at what time, you know, and
hey, why? Hey, let me cut you off. Just real quick, and you can keep going. Why are you going at my boy Canelo and you ain't going at Floyd Mayweather? Go ahead, go.
No. Oh, dude, you have no idea how much I want Floyd.
Hey, that's a whole other show, bro. Go ahead, continue, my boy.
No, so again, Canelo, nothing against him, but he's done nothing but he's done a lot of great stuff. But every fight where he's fought a guy in his prime, he's looked like an average fighter. When he fought Lara, which is an elite guy, he was an elite guy.
That was a tough fight. Shout out to Lexi.
He might have won, but he might have just edged it out. But there was no
clear.
Yeah, there was no clear, like, oh yeah, I got this. There's still that argument going on social media. When he fought Floyd, it was a complete wipeout. And then now he's yes, I get it. He avoided a Golovkin. Guys, he avoided Golovkin since there was HBO. HBO was still out there, and he avoided Golovkin. He let Golovkin get old, and you know, that's just the type of fighter that Golovkin was. That he was dying at the vine because that was an aggressive fighter. But he aged him out. He aged him out. The first fight he arguably lost, and they gave him
A draw.
a draw. Second fight he won. I think that was his career-defining fight. The second fight with Golovkin, because he put hands on Golovkin, man. It was
his defense was on display that night as well.
And his offense was his defense. He was the one leading that fight when Golovkin didn't know how to fight backwards, bro. You know, he beat Golovkin.
Pause. I'm gonna agree. I know we got to disagree a little bit.
Yeah,
I agree with the draw, and I agree with what you just said about him dominating the second fight. My bad. And I know you're loyal to Golovkin.
Yeah, no, but hey, we gotta keep it. We gotta, come on, they said Nacho. We gotta keep
True.
it true.
That's wrong.
So he, but at the same time, dude, he aged him out. He didn't fight Chavez Jr. till Chavez Jr. had more pills in the system than Kanye West, my dude.
Hey, does it matter though? Let's be real. Looking back, would it have mattered if he would have got a prime Chavez, my guy?
To the Mexican, not to us Pochos, bro, but to Mexico.
Who you calling a bull? Who you calling a bull?
You, bro. We're Pochos. We're Yo No Sabos. We're old Yo No Sabos.
Nah, güey. Yo sí sabo, güey. Hablamos español. No mames. But go ahead, my boy.
No, but my thing is that there's so many question marks on Canelo's career. Like I said, when he fought
no question marks for me. Only him.
Yeah, not for you, but when Floyd, wipe out with Floyd, that Lara fight again, prime Lara, and that first Golovkin fight. All right, those are huge question marks in my opinion. Now where we're at now, what he's been able to do, as a matter of fact, and don't you remember when they actually put pressure on him? What did he do? He went and dumped those belts. He dumped the WBC. Ever since, the WBC has been doing custom belts for him because, God forbid, they piss off the
your guy boy body. Hey, you love Suleiman.
Hey, it's a Suleiman, dude. But again, he's been able to fabricate himself on paper, on chalk, a better story than
Hey, shout out to Golden Boy too. Let's give Golden Boy props.
Golden Boy deserves all the accolades in the world, bro. And it's funny because when people thought after Canelo, Golden Boy was done, look what they're doing now, bro. They're doing great. They're doing great. So
go ahead, my bad.
Credit to Canelo has been credit to his team because sometimes it's not that easy. You see a lot of these people with fighters, 4, 6, 8 round fighters that are eager to push their kids, and they've been consistent saying, you know what, I'm not gonna fight that tough fight. I'm gonna fight the right fight to make my legacy. Because at the end of the day, none of this crap matters. Is what's in your bank account for your family. And Canelo's have fabricated a hell of a career.
He's gotten both.
Yeah.
The belts, the accolades, and the money. And now he's flipping that to the third thing, a businessman. Now he's got all those Exo stores, whatever they're called, the stores everywhere. He's got the drink now.
Exo. The only Exo we know is Lando, bro.
Shout out to my boy Lando, by the way. Hey, but again, for the record, I want to be clear. I disagree with my boy in the sense I agree with him to a certain extent as far as, Canelo, I wouldn't say he was fabricated because he wasn't made in a lab, obviously, but they guided him perfectly.
Yes.
The way you're supposed to match a fighter. That's if somebody if you want to look, you got a young kid, you got a young son. There's a couple of guys you can look at. You could look at Oscar De La Hoya. Yes. You could look at Floyd Mayweather. You could look at Canelo. You could look at Devin Haney, and you could look at Teofimo Lopez. Those are guys that you match them right. You don't throw them to the wolves right away. So from that aspect, Canelo did what he was supposed to. I get what my boy is saying. Unfortunately, a lot of those guys, some of them were old, but he still did what he was supposed to, and he's still doing what he's supposed to. So props to him. And he did dare to be great against Bivol, and a little bit too much for him,
But, bro, it's funny that you say, and that's where I want to give Canelo credit. He's a little guy, bro.
He is.
How tall are you?
He's a little taller than me. I'm 5'7".
All right, you're 5'7". I'm 6'3".
He's like 5'8", 5'9".
Bro, that's a big difference in the ring, man. Like with us, don't matter. With them, where they're actually cutting weight to.
But you're like a solid 450, my boy.
460, homie. Get it right.
Dale, my man, bro.
No, so what I'm saying is and this is where you have to give Canelo credit because Canelo has a frame of a 154 pounder. You know, he's maybe about
Yeah,
five.
yeah.
What is he? 5'6", 5'5", maybe. So 154 pounds. Cool. Remember, Canelo was at 147 at one point.
Yeah.
Um, and even and most 147s are even taller than him. Crawford, guy at 135, he's taller than Canelo. Everybody that's
Crawford and him, they're about the same height.
Crawford is taller, bro.
Crawford, they're both. I think they're similar.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
hey, real quick, bro. I want to answer this because I was having this conversation with a customer. I assumed that Crawford rocked around at like 140 pounds. Nah, he walks around 180 pounds.
180 pounds? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was his team, and I reached out to his team, and I got the text to prove it.
Crawford is a bull, man.
And he's strong though, bro, because he's got that wrestling background.
Yeah.
He's just a dog. He's a real fighter. Speaking of fights, I think that would be a fight. Benavidez obviously gives him trouble for the reasons you just stated, the height, the difference. Right. I think Crawford gives him a fight because he's a boxer and he's a lot tougher than people think.
And as height wise are there, that's when style makes fights because they're actually Canelo's so used to fighting. You know, he went on his Mary Poppins tours where you fought everybody in the UK, and these guys are good, but again, at the end of the day, they're UK fighters. They're evolutionizing a bit more, but they're not as polished as westernized fighters. And yeah, again, back to Canelo. Let's give him his flowers, but again, he's no way, shape, or form. You know, in the I wouldn't even say top 5 Mexican fighters. With that said, this is a very easy fight for Canelo. I've seen Scull. I'm sure you've seen stuff on Scull. Scull is a very complacent Cuban fighter. Again, lately we've been getting a lot of good Cuban fighters that like to fight, like Morel loves to fight. I love that kid, man.
That was a good fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah, good fight. Big kid, dangerous fighter. Scull, on the other hand, I can see it being a stinker, man. I can see it being a stinker. On that card, I'm more excited about my guy Munguia.
Do or die.
Munguia fighting Pepe Le Pew, bro.
Pepe Le Pew.
My guy.
Brontosaurus.
Yeah. Credit to you know what people forget that.
Boxing is a world sport.
But not only that, but Munguia was winning the fight. It was almost. I feel like he was almost getting bored in there. He was beating the French dude. Like, you know, he just got caught. Pepe Le Pew put hands on him, and he was the $1 million baby at that moment, man. He or Cinderella man. He did great. He again, this was his big moment, and look, he's got a fight in Saudi Arabia. How special is that? I mean, think about it. For a guy like Munguia that's kind of used to the big arenas, you know, he's fought out here in Southern California. He was a mythical legend because
Canelo.
He was the guy that was supposed to fight Golovkin. Remember, and the athletic commission said no. So it was this legend of Munguia that started. And just to go back a little back on Munguia, I remember Cotto fought this dude from New York, something Ali.
Saddam Ali.
So he fought this guy, and then here comes Munguia and starches the guy. Starches the guy that beat Cotto for the belt at 154.
Gotcha, too, bro.
At 154.
It was lethal.
So Munguia's been going at the rim. I feel like he just has clumsy power. Solid guy. Yes, they've done very well in his career, and they've been moving his career very well. Of course, and honestly, even with Canelo, I think he put on a great effort with the fight that he had with Rosado, fight of the year type of fight. Him fighting with under the tutelage of Eric Morales. Great. Now he's with Reynoso. Let's see what they do together. I think Canelo has to inspire him to, be a little better. So I think Munguia beats him. I think he boxes a little more, and we see a good stable from Eddie Reynoso. And like you mentioned, that that kid. I forgot his name, but the kid that's making his pro debut.
Mazatlan, Verde, Maro.
Verde. What a place for a Mexican kid from Mazatlan to have his pro debut. No, we're not gonna do it in Tijuana. We're not gonna do it in Sinaloa. Where are we going? We're gonna put that down here. We're gonna go to Saudi Arabia. Dude, that is wild, man. That is so cool for this raza, going out there
Big
for
time,
a pro
baby.
debut. For a fight that's probably gonna end in the first round. That's special. That's special.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
If Jaime Munguia loses, do you agree with my statement? B-side.
Not necessarily. Because of the way that he moves tickets. And who's he gonna be a B-side to? There's Berlanga that, win or lose, I want to see
it?
Berlanga. Yeah,
you want to see it?
I want to see him versus that big-eared kid. ¿Cómo se llama? The kid from South Central. I forget his name.
Pacheco.
Pacheco. I want to see him versus Pacheco versus Macumbi versus.
Macumbi's fighting Pacheco is July 19th.
The winners of those should fight each other. We said Macumbi. What's the other one? B-Rad.
Beater Beef is 170.
No, B-Rad. A dude from PBC. The one that Canelo beat too. I call him B-Rad because he reminds me of the guy from Maybe.
Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant, my guy.
Don't mom his way.
B-Rad.
B-Rad. I thought that was a fool's name. I was like, wait a minute. Do I know who that is? Hey, Caleb Plant's fighting too soon.
All those fighters, bro, they make for great fights, and throwing the big dog out there. If any of them decide to move up and weight to 175, there's Benavidez, the big dog, waiting for them. So all those guys can interconnect with each other and can make a great. Now imagine Turkey Al-Sheikh puts all of those guys together, makes a round robin of 168 pounds. It was like a Super Six from back into the 2000s on steroids, my guy.
I remember those Super Six days.
Those were fun.
Yeah, you just brought up some old school.
Those were fun.
Only true boxing heads will know about that shit.
Yep.
Right there. Hey, man. Well, that's good, man. So we got to talk about the big guy, man, the monster, making his U.S. debut, the undisputed, one of the top 10 pound for pound fighters of the day. You want me to give my top 10 pound for pound real quick, or do you want to just talk about the
No, throw them out there. Throw them out there before you talk about it.
Here's my top 10 pound for pound in exactly the order that I have it. Number 1, Usyk. Number 2, Terrence Crawford. Number 3, the monster Inoue. Number 4, Dmitry Bivol. Number 5, Beater Beef. Number 6, Canelo. Number 7, David Benavidez. Number 8, Bam Rodriguez. Number 9, Shakur Stevenson. And number 10, Tank Davis. And the only reason why I have Bivol and Beater Biff over Canelo, Bivol already beat Canelo straight up. So that's what it is. Go ahead, my boy.
Yeah, no, I agree. The one I would put, the only one I think I would put a little higher is Bam. I think Bam's a very, very special athlete. Now that you don't see the Lomas in there and whatnot, I think you're right. I think you could mix a lot of the top 5 up and down. You could throw Usyk, you could throw Inoue up before Usyk. You could throw and again Crawford. Imagine Crawford beats Canelo. You stamp him out there. Usyk is just special. The way the
special, bro.
That run that because people got to think about the weight difference, man. That weight between the street guy fighting each other doesn't matter. A guy that was shrinking down to make cruiserweight, because that's what he was, cruiserweight. That's 199 pounds. That's all of a sudden fighting guys that are almost 300 pounds
Fury was like what, 285?
Yeah, that's a big dude, man, and he was able to handle the weight, great. It took him like 2-3 fights to be able to, custom himself, but he did great.
But yeah, it's a big fight for Inoue. Unfortunately, I heard the tickets are not selling as they expected. That was a true boxing head type of fight. That's a fight I wish I could have attended, bro, but I got a lot going on. Ramon Cardenas, I don't expect much. Go ahead, my boy.
Yeah. No, but going back to that ticket, so it's not fair to Inoue, bro. Because look, Inoue doesn't have to come to
the U.S.
U.S.
He's
Dude,
a superstar.
my guy sells tickets over there
Sells out.
on a Tuesday, on a random Tuesday, and just selling tickets like it ain't nothing. And they're literally struggling out here to sell tickets, and not because his people want to see him, but I think it's just a disservice to put him to fight on a Sunday, two on a big weekend when you got fights on Friday and Saturday. So you got folks like, let's say me, that I don't go to as much fights as I used to. Am I gonna go to Vegas to watch, or am I gonna go somewhere else, or New York, or what, to go watch one of them? No, dude, it's gonna be cheaper to watch them at home. I would gladly pay the $90 that they're gonna charge to watch these fights, and I'm gonna just chill at home. I'm gonna be here at the house grilling all day tomorrow. Saturday, same thing, and Sunday I just get to chill, again, do a little grilling and watch Inoue. And
Hey,
then,
but you as a real boxing fan and a real person that goes to fights, you know damn well Sunday kind of better suits you because you can go. You don't have to worry about that traffic heading back to LA. You can come back on Monday.
yeah, it's true.
That'd be
That's
a
true,
win for you.
But remember, they're expecting the Japanese to fork out that type of money. Japanese are responsible people, bro. They're very responsible. They're not gonna go. They're not gonna go to Vegas on a Sunday, bro. Those my dudes are work, and the tariffs are crazy right now. So my guys got to work.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't coming out here. Hey, I appreciate everybody tapping in, showing love. You got people in your chat that are watching? You want to
I
shout
have
out?
no idea, bro. I don't even know how to use this thing. Probably my
No
wife.
pasa nada. I got a few people in here. Shout out to everybody again. We're doing this on TikTok, but we'll be posting it on YouTube as well. The co-main event is also a good one, bro. You got Rafa Espinoza representing Mexico, defending his WBO title against one of my homies, one of my local guys, Edward Vasquez from Fort Worth, Texas, looking to become the 6th world champion from Fort Worth, Texas. He's in it tough. The odds are stacked against him. Not a lot of people give him a shot. I do. He's coming in shape. He's coming in ready. So I think that fight's going to be a good one. I really do. I think that fight's going to be a little bit closer than the main event.
Yeah. You know what? You hear the cops? I see. I live in the hood. You hear the birds?
A la verga. You still in Compton o qué pedo?
No, I got peacocks.
Nah, déjalo, güey. Está bien.
No,
That's
you know
nothing.
what?
That's Mexicans.
With Rafa, he's a special fighter that I don't think that the general public has seen. I think casual boxing fans need to see him, man. He's a special guy, and I think
6'1".
he has a special place in my heart because my guy has pipes, bro. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
know I am when people can sing, man.
Yeah.
That is good. He's built like the guy that our parents, watched in boxing. He's just tall, respectful dude. Mexicano. No,
Arre.
pocho, no nada. Mexicano, and you gotta respect that. I love that, man. I like the kid. I think he's not brashy or he talks a lot. He's just a very humble kid, and maybe he works against him. But I think once you see him in the ring and the things he's been able to do, and how he knows how to cut off the ring. He's a special guy. So yeah, I know it's your boy, but he has a tough night against him. Hopefully they just put a good fight, man.
Hey, good luck to both of them.
Absolutely.
Hey, while you're talking on that, one thing that won me over is after he won the title, bro. They took him to go see the Virgen, and he was like walking on his knees, bro.
Yeah,
that was pretty dope to see that. Not a lot of guys do that shit, regardless whether you win a title or not. To walk on your knees.
Yeah, not to get religious, but I mean, your mom's, Católica. My mom's same thing, and to see someone else with your, devoted faith, it's kind of cool, man. Being real, it's cool.
Nah, bro, fights don't start early, bro. The Canelo fights will be starting normal time. They're not gonna start at 3, bro. So it'll be 3 for them.
Tomorrow they are, Nacho.
Yeah, tomorrow. But I'm talking about the main event.
Yeah, but because that's a tough part because I think it's going to be like 5 o'clock. The main event's like 5 o'clock my time tomorrow.
So that's cool. That's like 7 my time. That's normal time.
That's normal. Yeah, that's normal for the rest of the world. But we're always used to watching fights like at 7. So that one's going to be a little tough. The good thing I work from home tomorrow, so be good.
That's good. Hey, so let me ask you this, homie. Where are you going to be watching the fight at?
He at the pad.
Oh, you already got you got a little watch party, or just you and the wifey, or what's the
for tomorrow? Just me and the wifey.
That's
Tomorrow,
cool.
me and
That's
the
all
wife
you
we're gonna
need.
close Saturday, and even Saturday I hadn't really planned anything, but I'm sure people will show up. I always
So
do.
tomorrow, for sure, just you and the wife, are you gonna get on the grill or not?
Yes, sir. Por ahí está
Hey,
el güey.
Allen está preguntando si llevan a tequila.
Por ahí está el grill, ya lo tengo listo.
Y tiene techito el compa. So rain, still snow, what's going down?
We grilling, bro. We grilling.
That's right. That's
It's a
right.
must.
Hey, real quick, bro. I want to talk about. I want to give a special shout out to Jake Paul. He gets a lot of flack for everything that he's done, but I got to give him props for being a businessman. He created himself. He is a fighter. I can't take that away from him. He's developed one. I don't like the Mike Tyson matchups. Props to him fighting Chavez, even though Chavez is washed. But the thing I want to give him props for is becoming a promoter and being smart. So check me out when I say this. He's created a lane for himself. So what he's doing, he got all the top female fighters in the world and signed them. So listen to this. So he signed a bunch of girls that are all world champions, and you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna make them all fight. So they all fight July 11th in New York, which is on a Friday, which is the night before Shakur Stevenson versus William Cepeda. Listen to this. You got Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 3, undisputed title, right? You got Alicia Baumgartner versus Jennifer Miranda, undisputed title. You got Chicken Sharetta Metcalf. She's fighting Dina Thrushland for the WBC, WBO, and IBF titles. And then you got Ellie Scotney versus Yamil, the Mexican girl, Yamilith. ¿Cómo se llama? Yamilith. And they're fighting for the WBC, WBO title. That's a lot of titles. That's a business move, bro. That's a power move, and I want to give that fool his props for that, bro. I don't know if you caught that.
No. You know, it's easy to knock on this dude, Jake Paul, but he said something the other day that I thought was very impressive. Was, you know, a lot of these fighters start the same way. The only thing is he's under the microscope. You got all
the
these
money,
guys,
smart.
yeah. Like if you look at your average fighter, I'm not talking about, you know, like your purebred pedigree boxer. I'm talking about your traditional fighter coming up the rankings. The first fight that he fights is a guy that's either 0-3 or a pro debut, a guy that they brought him from the streets to just fight to build up your confidence. First fights, the first 3 fights, the fights are usually either debut guys or they're completely upside down records. He was able to capitalize on the dummy graphic of the UFC.
The Canelo.
Yeah, no,
the Canelo.
He knew that unfortunately UFC guys and you and I know these guys, man, that want to argue, want to compare sports to sports, but for the most part, a lot of these UFC fans, they're not the brightest guys in the block. So it's easy to feed them like, okay, I'm gonna fight this guy, not knowing that Jake Paul walks around at 200, 230, and he's bringing a guy that fought at 147, and he's beating the crap out of him. While learning. Again, this kid is doing all this while he's learning. So credit to him, man. Credit to him. He's been able to do it. He's been arguing with Canelo. Look, he had a fight time with Canelo. Let's be honest. You know, Turkey just came and, you know, busted a Hail Mary at the last minute and threw a bunch of money at him, which is smart for him. And now he's fighting Chavez Jr., which
June 28th, out there in your hood, right? Anaheim?
Yeah, in Anaheim. So Chavez Jr., for just to give you a perspective of where Chavez Jr. is at, Chavez Jr. was a guy that we never thought was going to make it. He was just the son of the legend. And I think everybody was okay. So let's say for our parents' generation, they had Chavez, you know? And us, we heard that in the background. Every time there was a fight, the whole family came out, especially you in Texas. You know, you guys got the big ranchos. Everybody comes out. Same thing with us, in LA. So we were used to Chavez. Junior comes out, same thing, Chavez. So we get pumped. We don't even care if he wins. It's Chavez. But all of a sudden, Chavez started getting serious. He went and got himself Freddie Roach. He started training.
Top rank, knows what they're doing.
Top rank is the best.
The best.
I'm not going to say the best promoter, the best developer that ever
Matchmaker.
existed. Yeah, so now they go and make Chavez.
Shout out to Bruce
They actually
Templer.
get him a belt. at 160 pounds that they made Maravilla Martinez vacate. So Maravilla Martinez vacated the belt because he didn't want to fight the fight because at that time Lou DiBella had Maravilla Martinez and he couldn't really bankroll a purse bid, so they decided to let go of the belt. So here comes Chavez Jr. I'll fight him, and here comes the WBC. They'll bring in a guy that's not that known, and they brought him to fight Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr. becomes the champion. Boom, great. Still not a big name. So now what happens? They actually bring this guy named Andy Lee that's trained by Crunk Jim Emmanuel Stewart, and Andy Lee was a hell of a fighter, and now even better trainer. Nonetheless, he went and beat Andy Lee. He went and beat the guy one of the guys that was one of the best guys from the contender series that they had, the Italian guy. So
Manfredo.
Yeah, Manfredo. So here, all of a sudden, Junior became the real thing. And
I know he was selling out the staples, right?
He was selling out staples. He was selling out everything, bro. And here comes then the fight with Maravilla Martinez. Maravilla started getting older.
I was at that fight.
No, bro, I think we were both in Vegas that week because I was there for the Canelo fight versus Josito Lopez. Nobody believed Chavez could beat him. And Chavez had that Chavez versus Medrick Taylor moment in the last round, and he almost had him. But that almost had him was special enough to make Chavez Jr. a legend. The only problem with Chavez Jr. that he had that type of money. At the end of the day, he was born with a silver spoon, so he got anything he wanted. He started getting addicted to diuretics, which was pills, weight loss pills. Those weight loss pills at the end of the day ended up making him crazy. He started popping this, popping that.
That boy's wearing high heels and shit.
Yeah, and he became addicted to pills and he became a pill guy. People think he's a cocaine guy, blah, this and that. But he became a pill guy. Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for his parents and whatnot, but that's what happened to Junior. Junior, they had to kidnap him not long ago. Remember, he would go on Instagram Live and start talking about his father, his mother, his wife. So, and this is where Jake Paul is a genius. Jake Paul goes and says, this guy just got out of rehab. This guy's blown up in weight. He's a career 160, maybe 168 pounder. Let's make him fight at cruiserweight.
But there's like 200 pounds, no?
200 pounds. 200 pounds. Junior's a 160 pounder at heart. He's a big guy. He fought Canelo at 168 pounds. But you're fighting that type of you're fighting that Junior. The good thing, I don't know if you know who's training Chavez Jr., but you might remember him from the Velasco days, Charles Huerta.
Shit.
Charles Huerta, and I'm very proud of that kid, man. He's the trainer. He's been training Chavez Jr. for the last fight and this fight. So they're training right there in Maywood, dude. So
shout out to Maywood Boxing Club.
Shout out to Maywood, man. So
hey, real quick, bro, since you mentioned Maywood, I'm not on it as much, but how's Rudy Hernandez? He's doing good. How is he?
Me and Rudy, look, and you need to come out once you're out here. It'll be cool to have you. There's like a boxing head dinner that we always go to. It's Rudy Hernandez, Tom Loeffler, Steve Kim, Doug Fisher.
That's Steve Kim.
Yeah, so a lot of the older guys. Some Beto goes sometimes.
They got the homies pulling up,
bro. We go and sit down and have a steak dinner like at least once a month in Long Beach, bro. And it's dope. I think it's an atmosphere that you would like because, again, you know that I don't party that much anymore. So it's like we all go and talk boxing, and it's pretty badass, man.
Homie Steve Kim, he likes to drink. He's a party boy.
He's a party boy. We go and talk boxing. But back to the question, Rudy goes and he tells us his stories, talk about his late brother.
There's a lot of good stories too, bro.
Rudy is a great guy, bro. Rudy is one of those guys that you want to be on his good side.
Yeah, shout out to Rudy, man. He a real boxing guy, and I'm glad he's doing good. I think he's still working for the UFC. He's their cut man.
Yes, sir.
Official cut man, doing his thing, but still training guys.
And he has one of the best, one of the guys that actually should be in a pound for pound list if he's not yet. is Junto Nakatani.
Nakatani
Junto's trainer.
he is creeping in the top 10.
Bro,
Nakatani is top 10. I'm glad you mentioned him, bro.
Special fighter. That to me is my fight. Junto versus Bam Rodriguez, bro. That's the fight I wanna see.
Bam Rodriguez versus Nakatani?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know, bro.
That's a fight. That is the fight. That is the next powerful fight that we're gonna have. Those are gonna be it. And I think Turkey Al Sheikh's got to step in because they're getting to the point where Bam has fought all the legends already.
Beat them all.
Yeah, beat them all, and now it's time for him to start fighting some fresher blood. So I really like that fight for them, and I think Bam will do great. And don't be surprised if he sleeps one of them. I got Bam over Nakatani. As a matter of fact, I would put some money in the near future Bam versus Inoue.
I don't know about that.
Bam is a special fighter.
I don't. We'll see. I would like that fight though.
I'm telling you.
I mean, so Bam dropped back down. He's like at 115, 118 right now.
He dropped back down when he was letting his brother, try to compete at the higher weight. Now that his brother's retired and he's going to eventually have to move up, I think Bam is the guy. I think honestly, Bam is. I know you're a big Spence guy, but I think Bam is the best fighter that I've seen out of Texas in a very long time.
Yeah, bro. Come on, yeah.
Bro,
shout out to my boy Spence, the truth, the real one.
No,
but multiple divisions for my boy Bam.
Yes.
So yeah,
Bam.
That's why he's pound for pound.
And you should go see him train, but because if you see his feet, bro, if you see Bam's feet, it's like it's as close as you'll get to Loma. But the difference is Bam could crack.
And shout out to Bam Rodriguez. He will be fighting July 19th here in Frisco, Texas. If y'all want to come down, witness greatness. Diego Pacheco will be the co-main event. He's fighting your boy Trevor McCumbee. That boy Bam Rodriguez looking to unify, capture the WBO title from the South African. It's going down. Shout out to Bam Rodriguez. Don't forget Virgil Ortiz, bro. Virgil Ortiz,
another special fighter. You know what? I was always very apprehensive about Virgil. I didn't know what to make of it, but I think when he fought Bohacek, bro, I think he beat Bohacek. I know a lot of people say otherwise, and then the way he came back and fought the guy that arguably gave Crawford a very, very difficult fight.
You ain't lying. That's you speak that shit. Go ahead. Talk your shit. That's what I was telling everybody.
What Virgil did in that fight was nothing near spectacular, bro.
Made it look easy.
He was at one point he started toying with him, and that's how special Virgil is. And you hear about it, but like Pita will tell me how great he is, but I'm like, I was always like, man, is he gonna be as like Victor Ortiz? Where remember Victor Ortiz looked the goods up until life got tough with Maidana, but Virgil, I never seen him get pushed back until Boychuk fight. He got pushed back, and I think he did great. He didn't look the best, but at the same time, he had been fighting. I think he fought twice before that after his little illness that he had, and they were 1-round fights. So we never really got to see the spider webs come out of him. He got rid of the spider webs in the Boychuk fight, and he did spectacular versus that guy from
Ukraine.
Joel Diaz, Joel Diaz gym. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, also who looked good, bro, recently was that boy Boots Ennis, man. He looked really fucking good, man.
Bro, I said I was gonna make a shirt that said Mexicans for Botas, bro. That
boy looked bad. That boy looked good.
You know what I didn't like about not that fight, but the culture on that one is that they were complaining about my guy getting hit.
It's boxing. You're gonna get hit,
bro. He's not Floyd Mayweather. He's not Pernell Whitaker, bro. He's not.
You'll get hit.
My guy is there to F you up, my guy. He's there to put hands on you. There's gonna be something that's gonna come back at you, my guy. So if you're complaining about him not doing the shoulder roll, my guy, you're in the wrong sport. This guy is special. I really enjoy Boots. I can't wait to see his next fight. He seems like that's another kid that like, remember I was telling you about Devin Haney being the All-American kid. That's what I see in Boots. And
You're the real deal.
they better all these goofballs that are fighting at 147 tomorrow. They better not even say his name. If they get that fight, that kid's gonna hurt.
You better stay at 140 pounds.
He will beat Devin. He would beat
Ryan.
He would beat Ryan on the same night. My guy. That's how special I think Boots is.
Yeah, he's the real deal. But I think they're already talking about him possibly.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big boy.
Hey, what about Virgil versus Boot Ennis?
That's a fight. That's a fight. That's a fight. I don't think. I think that's a career-altering fight for both of them. Bro, both of these kids can crack, man, and they're not shy away from cracking. And
they're not,
and
man.
like I said, they're gonna get hit. Hey, you know what?
Sir.
Quick shout out to this guy that keeps commenting, Joker.
Yeah, shout out to Joker.
He's been coming over some heat, man. So that's good, man. I my eyes are bad, so I just started looking at this stuff. So.
You just started reading the comments. Shout out to Jody. Yeah. Shout out to Joker. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Cash. Shout out to Yachty. Yachty holding strong too. I think Yachty's from your hood too. I think she's from California.
Oh, no.
Hey, for those that don't know, this is my boy, Mr. Boxing Guru, a longtime friend of mine. We're talking boxing tonight. Looking forward to the triple header. It's a triple header tomorrow, but it's a 3-fight weekend. We got fights tomorrow on Friday from New York. You got the Canelo fight on Saturday, and you got Inoue Monster on Sunday. So guys like me and him, what are we doing all weekend?
Grilling, eating, and boxing.
And drinking. Hey, my boy, man, well, I appreciate you, bro. We did it. This is your first time in a long time. My first time in a long time. It feels good to get back on it. I've been getting a lot of feedback. And you know, bro, more than anything, bro, you're my homie, you know what I'm saying? And it was cool, you know. We don't have each other's flow, so it was, you know, but we're totally different, but in a lot of ways we're the same because we both
That's what
love
makes
boxing.
It fun though, bro, because when you got people that if we just sit here and agree with each other, it's like it's weird. It's like it's creepy. It's like you never seen those couples that all they do is, oh yes, honey. Nah, bro, I want to fight. Where's my wife? I want to fucking fight.
You see that chingazos. My boy said tomorrow. That's a true boxing head right there. He's gonna be watching fights tomorrow with his wife. I don't know where I'm gonna be watching the fights yet. I haven't decided if we're gonna do it here at the house. I think we might have to pull the trigger. Again, for those that don't know, if you want to watch the fights Friday and Saturday, you can get them on DAZN. They're offering a bundle package where you get both nights for $90. So, like my boy was saying earlier, you want to save some money, just pay the $90. You get 2 fights, and you get to stay at home, drink, grill, do everything, and you're at home, first front row.
Honestly, bro, you got to think about it. Times are tough, you know, around the country.
Yes, sir.
I know. Hear me out. $90 is a lot of money for a lot of folks, but you know, if you go to a fight, that's
$300, $400, $500
a ticket right now to go to any fight, and then you're gonna go buy beer. You're gonna spend another $200 because you know we are alcoholicos like that, and then we're gonna go out to eat, and like let's say for example, you in your case that you travel out, you're gonna buy a flight ticket. You're spending $90. You go buy another $100 de carne, otro 50 de pisto. And you invite your family, you know, which family is what it's all about. So have a good time, man. Enjoy the fight.
You know what's the best thing about at home and drinking and all that you just mentioned?
Yeah.
There's no lines at the restroom.
There's no lines. And if there is, sacas el chilillo para afuera y sas.
Sas, my boy said. Hey, bro, but it's been love, man. I appreciate you. What do you think, bro? You got anything else you want to talk about? You feel good? Your first time back in a long time?
Hey, man, it's been good, man. I've been trying to get the spider webs out of my system. You know, I've been on
taking the cobwebs.
Yeah, I've been just asking people, you know, ask me questions. But shout out to your folks, man. If they need a shirt, let me know. Mr. Boxing Guru with the Mexican flag account with the U.S. flag.
Show them the front shirt. Show them the front.
Show them the front.
Hey, any girls want to box and chill? Y'all want to watch some boxing and chill? Let me know.
Get your shirt for your mans. We got the ones with, you know, with Chavez, Morales, Barrera, Sanchez.
Or you want to wear? Hey, bro. I was gonna say, or you want me to buy you a big one when you come over, so when we watch boxing and chill, I got you on the XL. You know what I mean? Arre! I was talking to you.
Míralo. Hey, dile que te compre dos. Luis talking to a girl, una para ella y una para su novio.
A la verga. Arre con la que barre. Nah, man, but I appreciate you, homie. What I'm gonna do right now. Bro. You never busted one out. Hey, Mark, I appreciate you.
Oh no, I came outside. And just chilled.
Homie said, he said good stuff, fellas. Appreciate you. Va a poner celoso. Hey, que dice que te va a poner celoso del ZG.
Who's that? I wonder who's that. Oh, ZG. Hey, shout out to my dude, ZG Boxing, man. Good dude, man. You know what? And we'll talk about it as some other the other unsung heroes, man. Just to give you a little thing, ZG is one of those guys that, and I mean it in the best way. Like he'll help out that 4-round fighter.
Hey, he's gonna be the padrino for Chimpa.
Yeah,
he's the good man or whatever that shit is.
He helps the guys that I tell him not to help, but he helps them regardless. And I'm a jerk, bro. I'll tell you right now, like, oh, that guy's never gonna make it, bro. Don't even waste your money. But he does it out of the kindness of his heart. I tell him not to spend his money on people. He does, and those are special people that we need in boxing.
Nah, for sure, bro. Nah, man. Well, it's been a pleasure, brother. It's our first time out the gate. We getting back to it. This is what we've always done. We're gonna get back to it. Hopefully, it's not the last time. Our first time.
Yep.
But hopefully not our last time. Y'all make sure to follow True Boxing Heads on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, YouTube, TRU Boxing Heads, True Boxing Heads. We got the 5 T's right here. Not for True, but we got the tacos, tequila, tuba, tetas.
Tetas, no? I saw a great meme that said that.
Allá por el malecón, pura morrita que huelen a Christian Dior. Alrighty, my boy, my brother, man. Well, I appreciate you, homie. We got it in. You got anything else you want to cap or recap?
Nah, man, we good, man. Thanks for the invite, bro. Really appreciate it, man. Let's do it. Let's do this soon.
Hey, we did it pretty good, bro. I was on for like 20 minutes holding it down, bro. You did a good hour.
Es que me tenía que bañar, bro. I didn't want people to smell me.
Está bien feo a la verga como quiera, güey. Está bien feo como quiera, güey. No pasa nada. Alrighty, homie. Well, I'm about to jump off. I'm about to jump back on, and I'm about to cause I thought you was gonna crack one open. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. So. Nah, the kitchen's too far, and I'm too fat to walk.
Mejor has dicho tu mujer, güey.
I know.
Hey, but Big Mac Tattoos, I appreciate you. Y'all go follow my boy, Mr. Boxing Guru. Again, he has all the plugs on hats and shirts. He's your go-to guy. I got it from him. But much love and respect. Again, make sure to follow on all social medias, Mr. Boxing Guru and True Boxing Heads. Appreciate the love. Y pues aquí estamos. Y no los vamos. Enjoy this weekend coming up. Dice que te pegan, güey. Your boy, Dude Man, bro.
Hey, you know what? He ain't lying.
He ain't lying. So enjoy this weekend of boxing. I'm coming back next week to recap all the fights that we talked about this weekend. Maybe he'll join me, but if not, for sure I will. Pero ahí estamos y ya los vemos. Saludos a todos. Muchas gracias por el tiempo. You see me repping for the homie.
Hey.
Puro pinche RGBA, Robert Boxing Academy. Shout out to my boy Robert Garcia doing great things.
All right, then, brother.
Arre. Good night, bro.
Good night.